guys, Crazy Skin Dog here again, and we have the race from Absolutely Karting, our second members race. And here we go, we're on the roll in start, wondering when they're going to release us. So we qualified 6th out of 7. As you remember from the karting qualifying video, we didn't see our time, but they placed us in 6th out of 7 in this race. And yeah, just wait for the green lights. We pull back into the back of the train. Here. Yep, they go green just before that corner. We just put our foot in and away we go. We're going to try and look racy from the start. Try and maybe make up a place or two. 14's got the inside of 20 there, nice. We're going to try and capitalise on that. Who we're going to follow around. So 14's up the inside with 20's got the better run, so we'll join him. 14 had the better run in the braking zone. We maybe should have gone behind him. Let me know in the comments if you think a move was on there. I was thinking I could maybe dive up the inside, but it was a bit far back. Might have just ended up with me and the other guy in the ball. Very big slide as we come to the bottom of the ramp there. Just the back end just did not want to grip as we went full power down there. Okay, the guy goes wide up ahead and gives us a chance to catch back up, so we're right on the back of him again. So as I said in the qualifying video, not all the karts were the same, and I was given kart 11 for this race, which was the absolute rocket. So I'm doing pretty well down the back of them. Mostly it's the good kart, but also I'm driving much better than my previous session. Spoke to some of the guys after last time, before this time, picked up some tips and tricks about where to brake, when not to brake, how to take in certain corners and stuff, and just trying to apply those as much as possible. And yeah, just improving. So we'll see if I can beat my 51.4 from qualifying. Okay, 20 ahead, nice early pit stop. He doesn't want to get stuck on the guy in front for too long, so he's going to take the pits nice and early and have some nice clear track to make up time later. We go wide into that one, just check over our shoulder, make sure the guy behind hasn't caught up to us on that mistake. And then we're just going to get our head down, try and push on and catch this car in front as quickly as possible. We know we've got a good car under us, we're driving relatively well, so let's see if we can start making some ground. Okay guys, so we've pushed on a few laps here. We're kind of maintaining the gap to the car in front, number 14. I think he's pitted by now because we've caught up to another guy here. And yeah, we're just going to see what we can do. We're catching him relatively quickly here, so we're feeling pretty good. Don't know if he's pitted yet, and that's why we've caught him or not. But yeah, we've got someone to race, so let's enjoy it. We'll see how we can do here. So, coming through the first hairpin, that was a bad one for me last time. This time I seem to have got it much better, much better. Look, I'm actually gaining very slightly on him there rather than losing a whole swathe of time. And as we go around the never-ending left-hand, and we took that really nice that time, and we caught up again, maybe half a kart length. So now we're going to keep our foot in, full power all the way through this section, nice and grippy. Go still on the full power here. Haven't taken a foot off until this braking point. Braking a little bit early, just in case he brakes earlier than me, and around the rear. And so we're going to follow him around the hairpins, which we can do right now. We're just going to start thinking learning where we're quicker than him, where we're slower than him, where we can make some time up, where we can potentially pass. Just getting a bit more confident with the car as well. Since we didn't practice in this car, just jumped straight in the race for it because we have a different car for our qualifying session. So yeah, looking good. We're maintaining our gap pretty close at this point. Just trying to work out the best place to overtake. So we're just going to keep pushing and see. We're kind of hoping he pits at this point, to be honest. We're thinking maybe if he dives out the way in the pits, we can do a really fast lap and then go in the pits the lap after him, try and get an overcut. But yeah, right back now he's not doing that, so we're starting to consider our pit strategy as well, and thinking, right, am I going to pit soon? I'm going to pit before him, get a good pit, and then try and get out a nice fast out lap, and hopefully overtake him when he pits, assuming he hasn't pit yet. And yeah, let's see. So we're just maintaining that position, maintaining that gap, gradually catching through that long section, and just get close enough that we're right on his bumper, but I don't want to be too close because it's very easy to make a mistake there and just bump into the back of him. Haven't driven very close to other karts very much. So we have a look up the inside there, that kind of compromises us and we lose a bit of time. So we're going to have to make that back up. Unfortunately, looks like we're ready. A little bit of Constantine effect from the corners admittedly, but as I said, this car is just a rocket, so it's getting out the corners really well. The brakes were a bit grippy, so I was very gentle on the brakes and maybe that was hurting me at some points, but then at other times if I touch them a bit harder they lock up very easily. So whilst it was a rocket it was hard to slow down well. So yeah, luckily we don't have to hit the brakes many times in this lap. Yeah, we'll see how this goes for a little bit. See, try and remember if he pits or not before us. Yeah, so we're going to catch back up to him after making that mistake. See, dropped an extra car length gap from that mistake going into the first hairpin. Much better that time. We maintain the gap we caught up in the braking zone. And see, as we come around the last corner at the moment, straight into the first hairpin, if we're any closer, starting to think that's maybe the best spot. Either of the two hairpins, either this one into the first corner or the big braking zone in the back corner of the circuit now. As you can see, we're back on his back end here and catching all the time. Good lines through there. We're matching his lines, which is a good sign because he's got his own racing. It means he's done it a lot before, right? We lost that a bit in the left-hander there. Maybe should have been a bit more aggressive. Decided that it's pit time. Pinch the brakes, slap the button, miss the button. Right, no button press. Looking around, trying to find the marshal. Thinking, do I go, do I not? He's going to press the button for me. Thanks, Marshall. And that ruined. You can see I'm not happy with myself there. Dumbass mistake. Just, yeah, too hot into it. Slam the brakes on. And then unfortunately, as I come out of the pits, there was a guy coming around the corner and I just couldn't get out of the way. I was already committed to coming out. He appeared out of nowhere, full whack, and he slammed the brakes on and just spun around and put it in the wall. So we need to slow down a bit there, a bit too fast under the yellow flags, and slow it right down for the rest of the yellow. But yeah, the pit stop, absolutely gutting. Was doing great, catching the guy in front. Thought, right, here we go, I'm not getting past him, so I need to pit and overtake him in the pits. And I just overcook it on the way in, slam the brakes a bit too hard, get the back end all out of shape, get myself out of sync, miss the button, and it's just absolute disaster. So now it's just damage recovery, trying to make up as much time as I can. I know the car's good, I know I've been driving good, just forget the bad pit stop and get on with it, get going. And yeah, just massively disappointed in myself with that very simple mistake. I think next time I need to do multiple practice pit stops in the practice session in order to get those down, because yeah, there's no point in driving well if you can hit the pit stop button and you lose a load of time. So clear track though, so we're just going to get our heads down, forget the mistake, and try our hardest to catch some time up. So we'll probably skip through a bit now and find if we catch anybody a bit later on in the race. Okay guys, so we've skipped to a little bit later on in the race here. After that mistake, we were in 6th position and we had lost so much time to the guys in front, and the guy who spun when we came out of the pit was the guy that was behind us. So we were kind of no man's land at this point, bit Max Verstappen in F1 kind of style. Nobody to race in front, nobody to race behind, just driving around, having a good time, learning some more of the circuit, learning a bit more of the car just in case we get it again in a session coming up. Yeah, so just more enjoying ourselves at this point, trying not to be frustrated with the mistake, and just having a bit of a blast going around and learning. So we had a pretty good race overall, pretty happy. Disappointed with the pit stop mistake, but then the rest of the race was very good. I drove well, didn't make too many mistakes other than the pit stop, and managed to stay on the back of the guys in front whilst I was with them. Got to race a little bit at the start, maybe should have been a little bit more fighty. got my nose in there, been involved, and then maybe we get to fight the guy in front of that and in front of that, in front of that. But we'll see about that for next time. Didn't want to end up crashing into anybody and ruining their race. I'm only relatively new, so don't want to be the noob that's torpedoing everybody. But need to start getting a bit more fighty. Earning some respect and making some overtakes. We haven't made an overtake yet. Haven't been overtaken, but haven't made an overtake on track yet. So yeah, that's the plan. Get our first overtake in a race at one of these. Fingers crossed. A couple more practice sessions, and our times will improve as well. Awesome, guys. So we will move on to the results. Okay guys, so we've got the results up on screen here. As you can see, and as I mentioned, I finished 6th out of the 7 runners. Really good race, really happy. You may notice there, under the best times column, a nice purple 50.005, which is in line with my name, which means I did the fastest lap of the race, of anybody, all race. So really happy with that. That was a fantastic effort. And a whole 1.4 seconds quicker than my qualifying time and my previous best time. So really happy to just smash a time like that in. The kart was admittedly very good, but equally I was driving much better than I have in previous sessions. Picked up some tips from the guys, as I said, and just put those into practice and whacked in a pretty decent lap. 49.6 is like the real good stuff. 49.3 and you're probably getting pole in one of these sessions, but 50.005 I am well happy with that. So all in all, a pretty good evening. Super happy with my time, super happy with my race, super disappointed with my pit stop. So next race session I will definitely maybe do 3 or 4 laps, 5 laps to get a good time in. And then I am just hammering that pit stop practice, literally hammering that pit stop button each time. The fist technique seemed to work in qualifying. In the race I went for an open palm and just completely missed it. So yeah, I think maybe the fist is the better way to go, but we'll practice that and see how we go. So yeah, another good race, another great evening put on by the guys at Absolutely Karting. And as we can see, number 12 is the guy we were right on the back of, and in the process of trying to overtake, and he actually won the race. So it's good to be battling with guys that are winning these things and not being shamed too badly. You may remember the first race I was blue flagged, got lapped, so that wasn't too much fun. It does say 1 lap down here, but that's not the case. That's because we pitted at the end of the race. We saw the checkered flag earlier than the guys at the front. The race had been finished, but they were past the pit exit and we weren't. So we pitted, the 3 of us in 5th, 6th and 7th. We all pitted straight away as soon as we saw the checkered flag. The top 4 went round one at a time. So pretty good overall. Definitely enjoyed it. Definitely can't wait for the next one. Thanks for tuning in again, and remember to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Really helps out, and you get to see me drive a go-kart really badly. Got another race this evening, the 4th of October, so we'll be recording that, hopefully uploading that in the week. So yeah, plenty of race action going on recently. Really enjoying it, can't get enough of these races. And yeah, I will see you next time. Thank you very much. Goodbye.